Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some of the stocks on the move today here in Europe. I'm Caroline Hepker and I'm joined by Bloomberg's breaking news editor, Louise Moon. Louise, good morning. Let's start in the gaming world. It looked like Ubisoft was on the decline earlier, but it's turned around. Why?
Indeed. So this is, as you say, the video game publishers. They're behind names like Assassin's Creed and a lot of others as well. They delayed their third quarter results last week without explanation and released them this morning, so a week later than expected. And within that, they said they'd been in breach of a loan agreement. So essentially, auditors found that Ubisoft had improperly booked sales from a partnership and so postponed recognising revenue from that partnership within results. So they forced it to restate their 2025 financial accounts, and those changes put it in breach of the loan agreement, as I said. So they say that they will address those that issue by early repayment of loans. And as you say, so shares initially fell on the news, obviously not great news, but then rebounded. It kind of caps a week of speculation. People didn't know what was going on, and essentially a bit of a relief, potentially not as bad as expected. So a bit of a change in tone in share movements this morning, but up as it currently stands.
Okay. Asos has seen losses also today, a symptom maybe of wider consumer jitters, and we had the retail sales figures out for the UK.
We did, and they weren't positive for the UK. So, and that's kind of that's being seen across the board, also in consumer confidence gauges as well. That will be impacting Asos to an extent, but they also kind of have their own problems that they're grappling with. So they had their full year results. Losses were larger than expected, so a 15% drop in revenue for the year. They're in the middle of a turnaround. They've been making a lot of changes to do with management, to do with inventory. They've also launched Topshop back on the high street within the past year. So they're saying that, the difficult part is behind them. Losses, as I say, have still continued for this full year, but they signalled some positivity ahead. Shares slumped. However, there was a great note from Bloomberg Intelligence saying that that they're starting off from a weak base. It's a weak recovery base for 2026 for the next year ahead. They've got fewer active customers and they really need to win back shoppers. And as you say, part of that will be the wider economic factors, but they really need to win back shoppers for those sales to recover next year.
Okay, so that on Asos. Now into the oil and gas sector, Tullow Oil, a new record low. What have analysts been saying about this company?
So they raised their net debt forecast this morning and saying that they're holding talks with creditors over options for the business. So Tullow essentially kind of boomed in the late 2000s. They took on a lot of major discoveries in Africa, but with that they took on a lot of debts to develop those. So they've been struggling in recent years, sold off some of those African assets. But this new detail is that they're progressing with creditors on other options. So analysts are saying that it increases the likelihood of refinancing. It could result in significant equity dilution. So shares plunged to a record low and actually briefly halted trading this morning on the back of that news.
Okay, interesting. So from Tullow Oil.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.